Welcome to Friday Beyond Spotlights. I'm Patrick Tsang. I'm a local Hong Kong businessman, entrepreneur, and philanthropist. On Friday Beyond Spotlights, we invite prominent guests to share their unique insights into current affairs, business, innovation, and culture. Today, we're very pleased to have the Commissioner for Belt and Road, Mr. Nicholas Ho, join us. Nick is a young, award-winning architect dedicated to public service and policy advocacy. Last year, Nick decided to step back from his role in his family firm to join the government's Belt and Road Initiative. Welcome to Friday Beyond Spotlights, Nick.
Thanks for having me.
Nick, the year 2023 marked the 10th anniversary of the Belt and Road Initiative. As the Commissioner, can you help the international business audience understand more about the initiative?
Sure thing. So the Belt and Road Initiative was announced 10 years ago by President Xi Jinping. At that point, there was about 60 countries part of this initiative. Now it has grown to 150 countries, and it is the largest international cooperation platform aimed to build connectivity across different regions in order to unlock hidden potentials and uplift youth mobility, reduce poverty, things. And also, more importantly, it's about the 5 connectivity, which is the policy connectivity, the infrastructure connectivity, the trade, finance, and people-to-people connectivity.
So Nick, you travel around the world to represent Hong Kong as a key link to the BRI. How do you build and promote partnership and alliances around the world?
This is actually the role and the strength of Hong Kong. We have often been the international hub for business, whether it is finance or trade or education or culture. And I think going forward, Hong Kong's role as the international hub or as the Belt and Road hub has to be more strengthened. For example, international businesses, when they want to invest in Asia, often they will choose Hong Kong as the regional headquarter to access the mainland market, the GBA market, and also the Asian market. And for us, for mainland companies and GBA companies, when they want to access the Belt and Road market, they will choose Hong Kong as the regional hub to access. Because Hong Kong is not just the super connector, we're also the super value adder. We have very strong international finance center. We have very diverse and international professional services. We have top-of-the-line innovation research facilities in Hong Kong. And with these sort of innovation and services allows us to add extra value to both mainland China to Belt and Road countries and also Belt and Road countries into mainland China, this dual flow of capital, of innovation and talent. And I think Hong Kong going forward, we want to create more channels to add more value to our regional partners to accentuate our role as the super connector and super value adder.
So Nick, with the 10th anniversary having just passed, can you help us summarize what are the key achievements so far and the relevance of that to everyday person or the small and medium enterprises?
The Belt and Road Initiative has completed almost 2,000 to 3,000 projects across 200 countries. And it was announced that it was almost estimated an aggregate of $1 trillion USD being invested in the past 10 years. And we're seeing the result of these projects. For example, the Jakarta-Bandung high-speed rail. With these high-speed rail, it helps unlock regional potential. Hong Kong has a key role to play because as announced, the new 8 directives announced by President Xi Jinping, one of which is about the future projects. It should be small but beautiful, and it should be market-driven. It also should be commercial and bankable. And that is exactly where Hong Kong can add value, because Hong Kong is the PPP hub, public-private partnership. Hong Kong, it's all about allocating and arranging international resources, whether it's fundraising, services, or finding partners. So this hub that Hong Kong has built up all these years can really help kick off or kickstart a new wave of market-driven, small-scale projects that bring in regional partners, whether they are from different countries, economies, or different sectors and different age groups. Bring these people together and do more of these projects to benefit or to reap the reward that has been planted in the past 10 years.
Nick, you used the word connectivity a lot, and you've mentioned the 5 areas of connectivity. How can Hong Kong be more involved in this development?
Hong Kong has often been the international hub. Whether it is aviation or maritime, land route, so on. And financial connectivity has never been stronger in Hong Kong. We have the Connect scheme with mainland China. We have different financial connectivity products and policies with Belt and Road countries. But to really bring us to the next 10 years, I think the connectivity between people has to be strengthened. And that is why in the 8 directives announced, people-to-people connectivity, exchanges, education, culture is a strong, strong focus. And I think Hong Kong, being such a diverse and international community on its own, with international talents, services, students, all in one place, we're best suited to take up that role and to help bridge the connectivity among different regions in the Belt and Road Initiative. The best thing about the Belt and Road Initiative is when people from different cultures, from different backgrounds, economies, when we pull our minds and brains together and also each offering our unique strength, a lot of new creations, new projects, new ideas can really help benefit the entire region because there is a common goal, a common destiny, and also we can pull in our unique expertise based on whether it is services or natural resources or innovation. And we can see that there is a lot of participation, not just from a government perspective. We can tell that from the student perspective, from the youth perspective, there has been an unprecedented amount of demand. They want to connect, especially after COVID. I think the need to reconnect has never been stronger. Now everyone is coming in, everyone is traveling out. You can see a lot of regional events are being placed in Hong Kong, whether it is Belt and Road related or other international events. So that hub effect, we're seeing that is gradually coming back. And these connectivity is what supports Hong Kong being that hub in the future.
Nick, what kind of role should Hong Kong play in the next 10 years to ensure the prosperity of our nation and our friends around the globe?
When we talk to our partners and friends and my office, it's like, let's get to work. Now we're in the mobilization stage because a lot of connectivity or a lot of businesses weren't possible without the hard work done in the past 10 years. Building that level of policy connectivity, whether it is free trade agreements, avoid of double taxations or protection agreements, to physical connectivity like railway, high speed, ports, so on and so forth. And because these connectivity, which is a bit like blood vessels, they are being constructed, now it's about the mobilization of private resources, public-private participation, which is like the blood flow, for example. So now we must really fully utilize these trade deals, these agreements, and also these connectivity to help bring our young entrepreneurs, our SMEs, and international resources to jump in and to find the right project in the right region for them. Because, for example, in a large country filled with natural resources, but between different province and city, there's no roads, there is no railway. So there could be great agricultural produce that couldn't get out, or the cost of getting out is very high. But now with these connectivity, whether it is policy or physical, the threshold of doing regional business has dramatically reduced. And I think this is the exciting part for Hong Kong, because Hong Kong has often been the hub for market-driven, bankable projects. And going forward, we hope that we can not only just mobilize the private sector, but also get our youth involved. And when we look at Hong Kong as an education hub, we can see that there's more than 2,000 to 3,000 students in Hong Kong from every year from Belt and Road countries. Hong Kong government has been supporting Belt and Road scholarship every year. And I think these sort of talents, whether some of them retain and work in Hong Kong, some of them work with Hong Kong companies, but back in their home country, where it is Belt and Road projects or Belt and Road innovation or products. And these sort of people exchanges, these sort of Belt and Road talent pool becomes wider and wider. And the important thing is we must grow together as a region. And I think Hong Kong is uniquely positioned because we have that people advantage, we have that international connectivity advantage. And as a region, we can grow together and we can sort of benefit together.
So it's truly beneficial for everyone involved.
Definitely.
Nicholas, I want to introduce you to someone. This is Boris Chu. He recently graduated from law school in the US.
Welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Ho. I'm Boris Chu. Thanks for having me today. I recently graduated from UCLA with a law degree and passed the New York State Bar examination. I have a question for you today. So, assuming that my family operates a business that bridges between Hong Kong and mainland China, would you mind sharing your 2 cents on how the Belt and Road Initiative may potentially benefit enterprises like this?
As you know, mainland China market is opening up to the rest of the world at a record speed. But Hong Kong is also uniquely positioned because we are the hub between the two-way flow of capital, talent, and innovation. So we see that there will be a lot of companies across China that wants to go to the Belt and Road markets, access those kind of opportunities, that they will rely on a trusted partner, that would be Hong Kong. And I think as a young lawyer or lawyer-to-be, this is the best place for you.
Thank you so much for your time, Mr. Ho. It really inspired me.
Thanks for coming.
Welcome back to Friday Beyond Spotlights. We have with us today Mr. Nicholas Ho, the Commissioner for Belt and Road of the Hong Kong SAR. Who is Nicholas Ho behind the spotlights? In this show and tell segment, Nick will show us an item that has special meaning or significance in shaping him into who he is today. Nicholas, could you show us this special item?
Definitely. So this is a handwritten note by my father when I was very young. And you know, everyone has ups and downs. And I think, you know, back then when I was a young student, I wasn't happy with something. And then one day when I woke up, I found this on my desk. So it's a note by my father. You know, he's just saying we have to use different methods and skills to listen, to read, to do exams. And if we add it with hard work, then exams will be a success. But exam success doesn't mean your career will be successful. A career is successful doesn't mean your life will be successful. Life successful doesn't mean that you'll be happy. So these words really stuck with me. And I think that's also part of the Hong Kong spirit because this is resilience. I think Hong Kong again and again has been able to come out on top is because of our resilience. And I think that sort of father to son note really stuck with me. And I kept this all these years, and at the end he just mentioned that he wished me, you know, find happiness in life. And I think that's also been my driver because what's the passion behind and what motivates me. And I think that's often be, you know, on my mind on whatever decisions that I make. And so yeah, it's a little note from my father.
That's wonderful, and it also helps you to prioritize.
Yes.
It helps you to put things in perspective.
Yes.
Thank you, Nick, for showing us.
Thank you.
So, Nicholas, clearly your father is an inspiration to you. How do you work with your kids these days?
The generation that my father grew up, or where I grew up, is very different than the generation where my kids are growing up right now. So I think it's the sort of spirits and value of the family we try to pass it on to them. My father has often been very loving, caring, supportive of whatever I wanted to do. But again, he also has his sort of values and his passion and ambition. But at the same time, he's very adaptive to change. And I think sort of the qualities that I hope to pass on to my kids are, you know, resilience, high EQ, a bit of entrepreneurship, and most importantly, I think, and that's not been said enough, is language skills. I think communication, people skills are super important. And you know, in the tech-savvy world that we live in, this has not been stressed enough.
So Nick, how do you balance it all? Time with your family, public service, travel?
Yes, it's a tough one, but I'm very, very lucky. I have a very good support system at home. My wife, which I think, she can do anything. She's a superwoman, takes care of the family, but at the same time, she also has a career and she does her own public service as well. So because the family support system is there, allows me to really focus on work and serving Hong Kong during the day. And whenever I get some time off during the weekend, I try to spend it 100% with my kids, because children, they grow up so fast, and it will be a shame to miss that growth.
So Nick, you're a successful architect and you were the vice chairman of the Belt and Road Committee at the oldest chamber of commerce in Hong Kong. How did that prepare you for this role as the commissioner?
I've been participating in Belt and Road related projects and promotion for almost 8 years. And I remembered I started in ASEAN countries, and then I worked very closely with TDC and also different chambers of commerce. And I think really showing different stakeholders that your passion, because it's infectious. And I think the reason that a lot of committees or boards has invited me to join is because they want me to use that passion to drive change, to drive progress. And I've been very, very lucky because the people that I've worked with has been super supportive, and the programs that we have done has been very successful. And it's all thanks to teamwork. I think at the end of the day, a lot of people want what's best for Hong Kong. They're really passionate about Hong Kong, whether it is in this office or on the streets. I see people talk about Hong Kong so passionately. And I think my hope is to be able to drive and unite these sort of...
How to channel that energy.
Exactly, channel that energy and push us into the future.
Nick, in 2015, you established the HPA Social, which is a unit of your company that aims to serve through social responsibility initiatives. Can you tell us why you started this organization?
As a private company back then, we're not required to do any CSR or any ESG related work. But then I just feel like it's important for not just myself, but for young architects, young professionals, to get out of their head, not just focus on the project and work on the desk, but to really connect with the people that you're ultimately serving, whether it is in a community center or in schools and students. And I think getting that social connect is super important because it makes you very humble as a designer. It brings you back down to the human scale, if you will. And then it would change how designers and professionals do projects in the future. And that is not just within Hong Kong, but across the world. We're very lucky that we've worked with a charity in China that built a community center in rural villages. We're also very lucky to be able to design a Chinese school in Laos as well, part of the Belt and Road Initiative. So these sort of exposures also help shape us into the person we are today.
With this wealth of experience, Nick, what do you think is the best way to make Hong Kong a better place?
Hong Kong is a very unique place, certainly very special to every one of us. For us as a city to move forward, we must work on our strength, because competing with people on what they're good at, it will be difficult. We must identify our true core strength and unite public and private resources, especially youth, to push it forward. And for me, that uniqueness of Hong Kong is international.
If we then go back to your roots as an architect, right, what is your design philosophy, and does that tie into your current philosophy as the commissioner of the Belt and Road Initiative?
For me, it has always been about the people. And I often tell my kids, my role as an architect, or my current role, is hoping to leave this world a better place than we found it. And that is sort of the motto of our family. It's like, you come and go, but when you do, make sure that you left it in a better place. And that is the dream. And I do hope that, with everything that's happening, more people can think like that. And then that will drive society for positive change.
If you design Hong Kong as a building, how would you design it?
The element of international and diversity have to be ingrained into this building. And then we'll probably make it super green, super digital, super smart, and with a very sort of flexible infrastructure that can continuously be able to adapt to the changing climate, to the changing demographics, an adaptable, a livable building.
Now we come to our fun rapid fire segment where we get more up close and personal with our guests. So Nick, I will ask you some rapid fire questions. There are no right or wrong answers. Just tell us what comes to your mind first.
Sure thing.
Your favorite building?
It has to be the HSBC building in Hong Kong.
Your favorite comfort food?
Beef brisket noodles.
Favorite sport?
Probably running.
What music do you listen to?
I listen to whatever's on the radio.
Last movie you've watched?
Downfall.
Last topic you've searched online?
Friday Beyond Spotlight.
Favorite place to travel to?
Probably China.
Favorite place in Hong Kong?
I would say the countryside, the mountains.
What was your first job?
A librarian.
What's the one word that you would use to describe yourself?
Steadfast.
Who do you admire?
The founding fathers of China, it's pretty much up there.
Any hidden talent?
Is probably because I have no talent.
Any talents you wish you had?
That I don't need to sleep.
One thing that you would change about yourself?
Probably nothing.
Proudest moment?
Being father of 3 kids.
Nicest thing someone has said to you?
You have a great family.
What would be the title of your autobiography?
Leave this world a little better than you found it.
What are the qualities you admire most about your parents?
They are caring and hardworking.
Your biggest fear, Nick?
Not being able to drive change at the pace that we all hope to.
The most common misconception about you?
That I don't need to sleep.
What advice would you give your younger self?
Enjoy the ride.
What legacy do you wish to leave behind?
Hopefully create a much more connected and inclusive platform for the next generation.
Thank you, Nicholas.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us at Friday Beyond Spotlights. We'll see you next time. Thank you.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Very good.